Hey y'all, so I'm back with another video tutorial, and in this one I'm going to be doing a full set, so I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to start off by pushing back her epinicium, and if you can see, the tool that I'm using is from OPI, and the shape of the head, I absolutely love it. It has that curved shape and it fits perfectly back there where the cuticle area is at. So I mostly always reach for this one, and I have had it, I think, since I started doing nails. So I've had it a while and it is my favorite one. Now I'm going to use my cuticle bit and I'm just going to go around that cuticle area and try to detach that skin. I'm going to do one side first. So I'll do her left side first and then I'll put my bit in reverse and I will do the opposite side. Next, I'm going to come in with my sanding band, and if you can't tell, I have etched the top of that sanding band. When I'm coming in with this bit, I want to be able to really get back there and get whatever the cuticle bit didn't get. So by me etching that sanding band, I know it's soft and there's not a chance of me cutting the client. Now, when I first start with my sanding bit, I start at the edge where the tip is, and then I move my bit up and it covers the whole body of the nail. And then I come around the sides and work the back of the cuticle area and get anything that was left behind, like I said, from that bit. So this is a very important step. You want to make sure that you get it all when you're doing this. And you only want to remove the shine. Sometimes clients, especially if they rip off their nails are uneven. So you don't want to try to make it even. You don't want to put divots in the nail. You don't want to use a whole lot of pressure. You only want to remove the shine and remove any dead skin that is present. Here I'm just using a ball bit and I'm coming in and just buffing off any of that dead skin that is left on the living skin. So I'm going to be using these square tips and I'm really trying to keep the shape of the tip. So you're not going to see me do a whole lot of shaping when it comes to these tips. Now I got all of her tips on. I went in and I dehydrated her nails, and then I went in and I primed twice. Now I'm going to start with my first color, and I'm using this Young Nails Cover Pink, I believe. And I'm just going to lay that down, and I'm going to start at the center of the nail, and I'm going to walk my bead down. You want to make sure when you are trying to apply a full color to the nail that you're patting that product in position. If you go in and you place that bead and you kind of just swipe it through like it's a polish, or you're doing too much swiping, that's going to remove color. So you're not going to get that opaqueness of the color, and you're not going to get structure either. It's going to be thin, and then you're going to have to keep going in and adding beads. So always know when to pat and when to smooth out. So I'm trying to do a full color, like I said, so you see me do a whole lot of patting versus smoothing. Smoothing basically comes towards the end when you have everything in position. So I'm laying my cuticle bead and I'm pointing her finger down. That is the most important, well, it's one of the most important things. A whole lot of little things, y'all, make a good set. And I guess when you're starting, it seems like a lot. You're like, how can I remember all of this? So the more you do it and the more you repeat it, it just becomes that routine. And that's how you're able just to get through it. So for the middle finger, I'm going to be doing a French. I place that bead down and I'm patting it into place. And I'm pushing some of that product back because I know where I want the bulk of it to be, because I'm going to come in with my cutter and cut it out. But I don't want it to be thin there where I'm going to make my cut. So I'm making sure that I have enough product where I want it to be. So I'm going to let that set up and I'm going to come over here to the pinky and just lay a clear base. Now I'm going to come back to that middle finger, and as you can see on my cutter, I have dipped it into the powder, and now I'm coming in and I'm straightening up her nail, making sure that I have it lined up, and I'm just going to take that cutter, place it down, and really just press it through that powder and then slide that product back. Now you see me just taking that cutter and taking off any of that extra bit that I don't need. I also come in and take just a little bit off of the sides because I like a more round nail bed when it comes to the French. So now I'm going to come to the thumb and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to apply a bead, get it in position because this one is also going to be a French. So when you see me doing these sets, I always jump back and forth. And especially, you know, when you're doing cutouts, when you're doing French, you basically just have to work like that. If you spend too much time on one nail, that could be a reason too why your time is real slow. Especially if you're just starting out, a lot of you are so concerned about time. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm still concerned about time too, because I take about 2 hours for a full set and 2.5 hours if I have to do a soak off. My goal is to be about 1 hour and 45 minutes. Now, I have been doing nails for a very long time, y'all. And my time has pretty much always been that. Before, of course, when I was first learning, it was longer than that. But here lately, I'm kind of stuck at that time. Now, I would not sacrifice, y'all, the quality of my nails for time. So if it takes me 2.5 hours, 3 hours, however long, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna ever stop at the end of the set when I'm filing and just be like, oh, this is fine, and give up. Never. I would never do that because I want my nails to be right. I want to have a quality to my name. So for the pinky, I'm gonna be doing not a ombre, not a marble, I don't even know what to call it, y'all, but I'm basically going to be lining all of the colors that I'm using up against each other. And I'm doing this by applying these beads very wet, and I'm basically just applying one bead, and then I'll come in with my next bead and bump it right up against the color that I had just placed. And right there you can see I had a little bit too much, so I just swiped it off and replaced it with how much I needed. But I'm just layering those colors. And we're sticking to a very bright set. That's what we're going for. We went kind of with these pastel colors, and I've been seeing a lot of pastel colors, y'all. They have been in. So for my pointer finger, I'm going to take that color by GLAMANDGLITS CARPE DIEM, and I'm going to place my bead down, and I'm going to get it inside of the nail, so I don't want it coming off of the sides. That's my first priority. Now I'm pointing the finger down, and I'm going to start patting it down into place. This is going to be a full color of this nail, so I want to be able to get this color from the top to the bottom by patting it through. Now I'm going to bring in my paper that I'm using to wipe off my brush so you guys can see how many times I actually clean off my brush. So I'm going to smooth that nail out, and I'm going to tuck in the sides. So I'm going to smooth it. I'm going to clean up the sides, bring that product down, smooth it out. Now I'm cleaning off my brush. Now when I clean off my brush, I go back into the liquid and then back onto the paper towel. I want my brush to be moist but not wet. So that's why I go into the liquid and then tap it on the paper towel. Now right there, I just cleaned it, and I'm coming back and I'm smoothing out the nail. And then I'm gonna clean it off again, smooth it out. Whenever you feel like the acrylic is pulling when you smooth, you need to be cleaning your brush. So see how many times I'm going in and I'm cleaning off my brush. Now I'm going into the liquid, then I'm going to pick up another bead, I'm going to place that bead down. This is my cuticle bead. So I place the bead down, and as soon as I release it from my brush, I clean off my brush. So I place it, clean it. And this isn't like a exact science. It's all just, you know, a feeling basically. If I feel like that acrylic is sticking to my brush, I'm going to clean it off. So I'm not thinking about it as I'm doing this. I'm just taking my brush, moving the product, and then cleaning off my brush. You want to keep it clean though. Keep that in mind. So as many times as you need to, clean off that brush, and then when it gets dry, you put it back into your monomer and then tap it onto the paper towel, because you don't want it to be full of liquid. You just want it to be moist, so that way you can really move that product. So I have filed that into shape, and now I'm just applying my color. And I have really drained out this bead. This is a Modelones, I believe. And y'all know they take a long time to set up. So I really dried it out, so when I place it, I can be able to really move it without it running everywhere. Now, when I'm placing this French, you see I placed my bead and I kind of brushed it back, but on my nail bed, I cleaned it off because I want to be able just to be done with this and cap it. I don't want to have to come back and file off any of that extra blue that has gotten onto the nude. So be precise when you're applying your color, and you can get away with not having to go back and file it. And same thing for my thumb. I'm gonna apply my last color. I'm gonna place that bead at the tip, and then I'm gonna start walking it back into that nude color. So pat it into place. I'm making sure that I'm getting it on all of the sides. You wanna make sure when you're doing French that you really pay attention to those side walls, because right there at the side of the nail bed, sometimes you can miss a spot and it'll throw off your French. So you want to be sure that it's all even basically. So I'm going to get that color on, get it into place, clean off that nail bed, and then just pat it through, and then I'll smooth it out. So here is the application done. Now I'm gonna go in and start filing these into shape. Like I said, I don't wanna really go too far away from the shape of the tips. So I'm gonna do minimal filing with my hand file when it comes to that. I'm only gonna basically clean it up. Once I have that done, I'm going to come in with my sanding bit, and this is all I'm going to use. I'm going to use my hand file, and then I'm going to use my sanding bit. So I'm going to do the body first, and then I'm going to focus on the cuticle area. When it comes to the shape of the nails, when you're finished filing, I've been kind of figuring out that you really need to have your defined shape. So the outline of your nails needs to be sharp and on point, right? But the most important part when it comes to the body is your cuticle area. Make sure you're flushing out your cuticle area, because that is really going to make it to where you do not have lifting if you really flush out your cuticle area. First, if you did your natural nail prep right. Second, if you applied your acrylic correctly. And then third, if you flushed it out correctly. So you need all of that to have a good foundation, because nobody wants their nails to be lifting. I think that was the hardest thing for me when I first started out. I wasn't able to get that really good flush because I was scared really to get back there by the cuticle area. So use your sanding band, etch that sanding band so it's not sharp, and get back there and flush out that cuticle area. Okay, so for design, I have her all done. She went and washed her hands. I'm coming in with an alcohol pad and cleaning off those nails. Now I'm showing you guys these stickers that I made with my Cricut, and I'm going to place that at the back of that French and try to just press that down. Now I wish I had a smaller smiley face for this, because her nails are already so little. So you guys know you need the correct size for the correct size of nail. Now it fit and it worked, but it was still not smooth enough. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't sticking all the way down. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to put a gel base over this, just a thin layer of gel base, and that'll keep it in there. I'm also going to be doing some airbrushing, and these are just basically like the circles, the bubbles. So I'm going to place down my sticker and I'm just going to spray. I'm using the new gel that I got from my airbrush machine. I believe it is Air Tech. I'll be sure to put it in the link, but y'all, this is it right here. Okay, there's no guessing. There's no splatter, nothing. These gel paints spray really well, and they do a really good job. So in combination with the airbrush, I really love it. Look at that, perfecto. So now I'm just going to add another layer. And when you're doing airbrush, I find that they're just basically stickers, right? So you have the sticker and then you have the outline of the sticker. So when you do both on the nail, you have that contrast. I find that that comes out to be a better design. The hardest thing is removing the stickers. It's not difficult, but sometimes you'll go and remove it and you'll hit the gel polish because it's not cured. This is gel polish. You have to cure it. So it's still wet, and when you take it off, sometimes you hit it and mess it up. Like you'll put a little scrape through it and you'll have to start over. That's the only bad thing. So I'm gonna find something that really picks up those stickers. Now I'm coming in with a Nike sticker and I'm going to place it on that airbrush nail. Now these stickers too, y'all, I have made with my Cricut. I have been going sticker crazy, okay? I've been trying different papers, different pictures. It's all a learning process to figure out which ones go best. So I'm still getting the hang of it, but I'm making a lot of stuff here lately. Now I'm coming in and you can see I've taken a white gel polish and I just mixed some pigment in there to get a little color. Now I'm going to be doing a flame, and y'all, right here my camera died, so you don't get to see, thankfully, the struggle of what I was going through when I was trying to create this flame, because it was my first time ever trying to do a hand painted flame, and it was okay, but I definitely could have did better. So that's it, you guys. These are the nails completed. I ended up loving them. I love the pastel colors. I love the fun little stickers and the marble. I just ended up falling in love with these nails. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you're not following me on my other social medias, please go and do so. And I will see y'all in another video. Bye.